Hello people of the internet, I'm sorry for any shadows before we start. It is Sunday, it is 4 o'clock, it is not that late, but the sun has gone because we are in winter now. But I really want to do the review of these brush markers, Ohuhu dual brush art markers with the brush and fine tips. These are the new ones and these were kindly sent to me by a lovely lady, which I have already mentioned in my This Is Not a Haul video from earlier. So this is basically the review of these, the unbiased art journey review. So this is how they came. They came in this box. This box was actually sent in the post like this. My address label is on this side here. So as you can see, if you if you wanted it to be a surprise for someone, you might want to ask Amazon to put it in a box, which I think you can do if it's a gift. So I'm going to go through the whole kit and caboodle as you get it. So you get two little swatch cards. Now this is the full set of 72. So it's broken into two swatch card. Even though there's 3 sets in here, there's 2 separate swatch cards. Then there is this little, just move this to one side for a minute, this little art marker tutorial guide. They're called the He Ni Hao series, brush and fine. What is Ohuhu? The name Ohuhu is inspired by the colourful Hawaiian island of Oahu, with bright blue skies, verdant rainforest and kaleidoscope flowers. Woohoo! That is the calling of the pens. So what does it say about these? It says that these are water-based pens. Doesn't say a lot else. And then it has a little water blue blending tutorial here, which says, I'm trying to read it and see it and see if you can see it on the screen at the same time. Let's bring you down a little bit for a minute. This pen is cool. The thickness of the lines can be changed by changing the angle of the pen strokes and applying pressure to make a multicoloured effect with colours of the same colour scheme. First use a lighter colour as a base and then a darker colour to cover over the edges. To create a gradation effect with colours of different colour scheme, use a water brush to pale the transition of 2 colours to make the colour transition more natural and softer. Apply several colours next to each other, then use a water brush to bloom the colours to create a watercolour effect. Interesting. So, and then it's got the pen colour names on there. Oh, there's some frequently asked questions. Are there any sheet requirement for the marker? No. Does the ink bleed? Depends on the paper thickness. Anyway, let's open them and play with them rather than reading all the... Whoever reads the instructions. Let me take you back up there and get this out of the box. Now this is packed extremely well. There's whatever this stuff's called, polystyrene, holding the plastic boxes in there. So I'm just going to tip it up and shake it out like that, which seems to be the easiest way. Now what's fallen out is one of these protector sheets that you usually get with alcohol markers, and also 3 water brushes which were in this little cavity here. So in the box they were in that cavity just there. So let's take those out, and these are the same water brushes as I have received with other Chinese kind of watercolour paint sets. They are obviously a standard, you know, set that you get. It's one with a small paintbrush, a medium paintbrush and a large paintbrush. They're not bad, they're not the best. Let's open this up. Oh, squeaky squeak squeak. If you don't like nails on a chalkboard, you aren't going to like that. Okay, so you can see there's 3 packs that are in this plastic outer, because you can buy each pack separately, or you can get them in this set, and the lovely lady bought me the entire set. So then some more polystyrene little wafers in there, but let's get these all out, and then maybe the squeaking will stop. Okay, so we have the 3 sets, and they are the pastels, the mid-tones, and the saturated colours. Now let me see if I can turn the light off to stop this glare. Yeah, I think that's better. We don't get quite so much of an overhead glare, and I'm just using the little kind of photography lights now. So let's have a look. Are they sealed? No. Okay, so nice sturdy plastic thingy, and there is a thing in there. Oh, my terminology is amazing. A thing that stops them wiggling around. You know, holes. Can you see the holes? Yeah, you can. Okay, now let's actually look at the pen themselves. Okay, so they are, let's bring you right down for the pen examination. So they say on them, water-based Ohuhu, they have the names on them and the numbers. They have a really nice looking brush tip and a small fine tip, is that what they're calling it? Yeah, fine tip. Okay, now let's compare it to a Tombow, which is what they kind of competing with. Okay, so this is a Tombow water-based marker with the brush and the fine tip, and this is the Ohuhu water-based marker. Now they are very similar. I think they're identical in length, which they are. And let's check the width, which I can do with my magic gadget. So the Tombow markers are 9.93 wide, and the Ohuhus are 9.87. So there's 0.06 millimeters between them. That's pretty identical, I would think. They also both have ridged caps. So you can see they both got a ridged cap, and they both have a stop on them to stop them rolling off your desk. So the Ohuhu has a big stop there, and the Tombow has a little stop there, but it means that, you know, they don't go rolling off your desk. So let's have a look at both the tips. Now, this is going to be interesting. Now the Tombow tip looks a little bit slimmer, a little bit pointier, but that could be an illusion. They feel very similar. They both feel quite firm. Just make sure I get the caps the right way round. And then the other ends. So they both have the same, the end is coloured to match the colour. And they have, now these are definitely different. You can see the Ohuhu is rounded, more like a little bullet nib, and the Tombow is kind of triangulated. I'm not explaining it very well, but you can see there is a difference between those two. And also the nib holder is totally different shape. Okay, so let's have a swatch of the Ohuhus. Obviously, I have made a swatch sheet, because that is what I do for everything, and I have printed this swatch sheet on watercolour paper, which is what I always do on water-based pens, which says they are blendable. And this says brush and fine, water-based, blendable. Now if they are trying to compete with Tombows, I think Tombows have the best blendability out of all water-based markers, which is why I have printed this on watercolour paper, because I want to see how well that side of it competes. Now I'm just going to go and fill my water brush up. I'm going to use my favourite water brush, which is a Sakura. Is it a Sakura? I believe it is. Kuretake, yeah, Sakura Kuretake water brush. I'm not going to use one of the ones that come with it because I prefer this one. I know the water flow of this one really well, and I don't want to, you know, flood or whatever unexpectedly. So I'm going to go and fill this up with nice fresh water. I'm going to get myself a little cloth so I can keep the water brush clean in between, and we'll get swatching. Swatching. Cannot believe how dark it gets these days. So I have printed this with all the colours on it. I got them off the Ohuhu website, and I am going to swatch them in colour order. Hopefully. So that's primary yellow. Let's get the 3 yellows out first of all. Pale cream and primrose. Fairly easy to pick out the box which ones were which. So let's bring you down closer for the swatching. As always, I want you to be as close as possible. So this is Y101 Y010 Primrose. It's a really light colour. The brush nib is firm. It feels... oh, that blends out nicely, funny enough. No, I wouldn't call that a primrose colour. It's almost like a skin pale pink colour. I'm surprised actually, that blended out as nice as a Tombow. Okay, 120 pale cream. I might have to turn my overhead light on though, because I'm sitting in the dark. Just well lit up by the this part is well lit up by the photography lights. Next one is primary yellow. The actual nib feels really nice. Now it's interesting because I saw these on Lindsay the Frugal Crafters. Lindsay did a review when they first came out, and obviously she has a relationship with Ohuhu. Not that I think that biases her opinion in any way. I honestly don't believe it biases her opinion. I think she tells the truth. And one of the things that I saw it said was, I definitely don't need any more. I have the full set of Tombows. I don't need any more pens. And Lindsay said, actually the pastel colours would really complement the Tombow markers. And I was like, I'm not going to get them. And then I was kindly sent them. Thank you very much. And not by Ohuhu either. I was sent them by a subscriber who wanted me to do an honest review. So this is what this is to be, an honest review. These colours are very light. That was our 010 Pastel Peach. Yeah, it didn't look like any colour came out of that one, to be honest. 040 Powder Pink. I must admit the tips feel nice. I will compare them to both the Tombow tips and the tips of my other Ohuhu brush markers, and this is 060 Deep Pink. It's really hard to tell whether they're blending out any with these light colours. Okay, so what are we on to now? We're on to light lavender. Seems to be light lavender. It's probably these ones. Pale lavender, Sakura purple, light lavender, and light peach. We are on V010 light lavender. Really pale. These colours are really pale. Sakura purple. The light set are really, really light, aren't they? There's hardly any colour coming out. Pale lavender. That's next. Yeah, really, really, really pale. Why do they come out like on normal paper? This is normal paper. This is 120 GSM printer paper. Let's go back to one of these. Sakura purple. I feel the paper peeling up soon as you do a second layer. They are very, very light, these pale ones. Okay, pale lavender, and then this was light peach. Feels more pink to me. Okay, next one. Oh, turquoise blue. Right, I'm going to dump out the rest very nicely. And on the floor as usual, you can see the box in all its glory now. And that does come out. That is nice tight. This is a nice bit of packaging, to be fair. It's very solid. It reminds me of the... It reminds me of the box that comes with... Let's zoom it back out a bit. So these are Copic chows. And they come with a very similar... Actually, this one is thicker. And this has sort of like got built-in holes, whereas this has got this weird bit that you kind of have to balance in. But it's a similar sort of storage, but this seems stronger, more resilient. Right, let's pop the ones in that we've already done. Okay, it seems I wasn't recording for these two here, pastel blue and turquoise blue. So sorry about that. I had turned the camera off, turned it back on again, but obviously it didn't stick. So now we're on to sky blue. It's a nice blue. That is a nice sky blue actually. Okay, I was just saying, but I wasn't recording, so you didn't hear it. I do try to give water-based markers the best chance. No water-based markers really blend out on non-watercolour paper, so I always use watercolour paper like this. This one's called Horizon Green, sort of like a dirty, murky, pastel-y green. Okay, next G020, pale green. Nice green. I do like green. Blend out quite nicely. Then we have yellow green, and it is a nice yellow green. I haven't played with any colouring for so long. I've been busy at work. Maybe I'm just enjoying these because I'm actually doing something that's not work. And then this one is mint green, G080. It's quite a vivid mint green. Nice. That actually pulls out quite nicely, that colour. Look at that. Nice. Okay, now we're on to Putty, which is an E number. And it's like a sort of light putty colour. Now this is interesting because I know there's a Ohuhu pen called Putty. So let's grab that. I know there is because I did accidentally colour some skin with that colour once. And it wasn't the best choice. I found me Putty, but it wasn't Ohuhu. It was in my, you know, Oleep, Joy Wish. Let's see how similar they are. That's Putty, and this is Putty. They're nothing like each other. That looks more green. Okay, that was just a... That is a nice colour on there, isn't it? They're nice actually. They're colour smooth. These might be nice in double-sided colouring books. I feel like I have to revisit my what pens work well in double-sided colouring books. Right, we're on to the greys, of which there seems to be quite a few in this set. There is blue grey, which is MG, obviously. Then there's warm grey, which is WG, which is obvious. Then there's green grey, which is GG, lovely. And then there is cool grey, which is BG, and neutral grey, which is CG. Of course it is. Right, so MG, BG, 03. That is a really nice blue grey actually. Very subtle colours. All of these are very subtle colours. Then we've got the warm grey 0, which just comes out like a cream. Warm grey number 3. Very nice stone colours. Sorry, I'm putting them in the box as I do it, which makes a clunky noise. I shouldn't do that really. That one didn't seem to pull out very much, I just made it very wet. Green grey. At least you can see I really do have water in there. I'm going to say cool grey, but it's called neutral grey. Neutral grey 02. I want to try these in a colouring book. I think I might. Oops, I didn't go all the way to the end. Getting all slapdash. These really don't look like anything on camera. To be honest, they don't really have that much pigment in them, but they are the pastel set. They might just be a bit too pastel-y though. Okay. So let's move this along so you can see how everything blended out. You see they actually blended out really nicely. That rising green didn't quite so much well. Keep it in focus. Mint green blended nicely. Turquoise blue did. Pastel blue did. The greys are very, very light. Very light. Okay. Let us move on to the... what are these set called? Does it say it somewhere? Dual brush. Does it say? Or are you just supposed to know? 24 colours, art markers, dual brush. Well anyway, I think these are called the mid-tones. It doesn't actually say on the box. The picture's different. The girly picture's different, but it doesn't say these are the mid-tones, but these are the mid-tones. And we're starting with yellow again. Barium yellow. Right, let's get you down. Nicely in. Shot. Oh, splashed loads of water all over the place then. Give it too much of a squeeze, I think. That was the problem there. Okay, that was barium. This one is pastel. They both went down very similar. And then this one is canary, isn't it? Canaria. Very bright. Almost looks luminescent. And then YO90, dark yellow. Definitely could be used as a brown. It's like a dark, that's like a yellow ochre that, isn't it? Quite nice. Right, 4 pinks by the looks of things. Oop. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so next is rose pink. That's pastel pink. This is rose pink though. Okay, that was rose pink. Pastel pink on. I cannot tell if these light colours are blending out very well. I think they are. Okay, all the way to the other side. And I get the blush pink. Nope, there is no blush pink. I've got pastel rose, which is that one. I've got dark blush, which is that one. Oh, let's have a look at this watch. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've just made that up. Wow. So I wonder what colour we're missing when I get to that. So 130 dark blush. That's what happens when you try to do things in the middle of a Sunday. You know, when you actually try to do something. Dark blush, and then 140 pastel rose. They go down very similar. Bit too much water there, but it blended out nicely. Okay, then we've got the purples. Pastel violet. Oh, there's not much in that between that one and the violets up there. Feeling like I'm wanting a bit more saturation. They are nice nibs though. Amethyst, dark violet, light. Oh, and it's really, really light. Look at that. It's almost like, feels like there's no pigment in them. This almost feels like a second pastel set. Okay, dark violet light. And then we're going to get to greyish blue. It's very grey. I'm assuming the V stands for violet at the beginning, but that is just very grey. On to the greens, my favourites. Oh, we're not on to the greens. I've missed all the blues. No one told me. I'm sure you did tell me, because you was probably all calling out and I was taking no notice of you. So baby blue. Cerulean blue is next. That's a bit more oomph to it. Yes, that one's got a bit more body. Ice blue is next. We've got brilliant blue, which feels almost lilac. You know, almost that sort of yeah, when you get the more saturated colours, they really don't pull out quite as well, I think. Desolubulate. Yet another word that doesn't exist. Right, now we're on to the greens. Gotta admit, nice tip. I think I've said that 47 times now. Oh, that's nice. Chartreuse green. Very good name for that colour. It's the exact colour that I would call chartreuse. Chartreuse. Beautiful. Vivid green, I'm guessing is this one. Yep. I've got to have a go of these in a colouring book once we've done this. I've got to do two things. I've got to compare them to a Tombow, compare them to another, the other, this one's Petit Pois, the other Uhuhus, the old ones. Nice. That's where things are going to rye. My blush print should be neutral grey 4. So each pack has got 4 greys in it. The one above had 6 greys in it. Yeah, the greys above didn't blend out very well either. Neutral grey 4. I'm going to do over here in the blush print square just because I messed up with my sheet. And then green grey 03. They really don't blend out very well, these. And cool grey 5. Okay. Let's have a look at these. So these are the mid-tones. Both sets so far have been very light. They actually look brighter on camera than they do in real life, but they both feel like pastel sets at this point in time. I have just got out the Barium Yellow. This is an Ohuhu alcohol marker, and this is Barium Yellow in the Ohuhu water base marker. And I just want to see whether they are alcohol marker very darker, but alcohol markers do come through dark and then dry lighter. So we'll put this to one side and come back to it, and I will just write next to them so we remember which ones were which. That was water-based and that was alcohol. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so we're on the last set, which are the saturated colours. The picture is more of a raven-haired beauty, a nice bluey colour, and the lids look much brighter. So let us take them out of the box and sort them out to start off with, because it's just easier. Purples. Oh, sorry, punched you right in the face. Sorry. The blues. Just because you're right there. Glorious. With a little bit of tissue paper there just for the fun of it. Right. Let's shove you all up. Get me swatch sheet. Bring you back down. So one of these three is sunflower, which is that one, then yellow, then deep yellow. Quite excited for these more saturated colours. So sunflower. It really seems green. This one's yellow. This one is deep yellow. Over here I am just cleaning my brush while I... Oh! Reminds me of the melon sort of yellow in alcohol markers. Okay, now we've got coral pink, and that's vermilion. Okay, try to do 4 at a time. So coral pink, that's this one. That is very much a coral pink. Oh, see, the saturated colours never blend out well, or as well. You'll see it when it dries. Don't you worry, people of the internet, you will see it when it dries. This one's called Vivid Red, though this would imply it's kind of a magenta colour. Sort of. The vivid colours don't really blend out. This one is, no, that's geranium. This is vermilion. Yep, that's a very typical vermilion, sorry, colour, which is sort of like an orangey red. Okay, geranium. Ooh, very red. That one pulls out quite nicely. Okay, so lavender, here we go. Nice. Light violet. Try and go quick as you can. Cerise. Clarice. Oh, that's just like neon pink, really. And deep reddish purple. Sorry, vivid reddish purple. I was going to say, what is it? Red or purple? But to be quite honest, the name of that is right. That is a reddy purple. But that does not pull out very well at all. Prussian blue. Let's move on to the blues. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Prussian blue. Very bluey grey. I think that these don't really blend out. They just, if you're quick enough, the ink hasn't dried and you're just pulling off a little bit of the wet ink. Cobalt blue. Which, if you guys have watched my Are All Pens Watercolour, not all pens are watercolour versus water-based, something like that video, I'll link it. You'll know that all water-based pens can do this before they dry. In fact, even permanent water-based pens can do this before they're dry. The trick of having a really nice, good blendable pen watercolour pen. That blended nice. Is if it can do this when it's dry. Napoleon blue. It's a very nice, brilliant blue. Okay. On to the greens, of which there is 4. So, mint green light. Where is mint green dark when you need it? That's mint green light. Where is mint green dark? That blended out quite nicely. Deep olive green. Oh, that's a nice olive green. That is in a martini, but it does not blend out very well. And turquoise green. It's not a very nice turquoise green. It's funny that that mint green light there is actually darker than the mint green up here in the pastel. So mint green light is darker than mint green. Okay, and emerald green. I think when the pens have got a lot of pigment in them, look at that one. That one's like, I could paint for a week with that one. Okay, then we have one brownie looking one which is called Vigogni, which I've looked up and I think it's a type of llama. And then we've got some greys and a black, so let's do the llama first of all. Actually, they are very lacking in brown in these pens. It's almost like they're missing. You know, that's light, that's medium, that's, well, I was going to say that's light, very light, not quite as light, medium. Missing some deeps. You know, where's your deep browns and your, you know, your really dark navy blue. And your deep, deep red. You've got a couple of reds there, but you haven't got like a wine red. Or a forest green. Now the greys do not blend. Natural grey at 8. None of the greys seem to blend. I can sort of pull it around in its own area a bit, but I can't pull it out. And finally, oops, made a mess there, didn't I? Black. Usually the most pigmented colour, obs, and usually the one that can blend and has the most pigment to pull out. And this is no exception. There we go. It's like ink. Okay, let's have a look at these colours. So you can see that they're blended out quite nicely. Some of the colours are blended out quite nicely, some of them not so much. Mostly the, look at that black one. It's glistening like ink. Let's pull you all the way out so we can have a look at all the colours. So the pastel colours are very light, apart from the 2 greens there. The mid-tone colours, I'd still call them really pastel-y. And then the saturated colours, too many greys, not enough browns, I'd say at this point. I mean, brown wise, we've got like a yellow ochre there. We've got like a light brown here. Maybe putty being a very, very light brown. And that's it really, isn't it? Okay. Let me get one of my colouring books. Actually, let me get my Tombos out first of all, and we'll do that. Okay, I have got 2 things. I have got my old Oohoo. Let me just put my lid on my water brush, because we're probably going to need that. And I have got my Tombos. So let us use the bottom of this and see what I have got pens everywhere. Right, we need to compare and contrast. Now there's no on these old Oohoo water-based markers, which are really nice. Let us grab a colour that may be similar. That's a bit too purpley. I'll get a red. Red's nice and easy to match up normally, isn't it? Right, red. Let's get a red in me Tombos. This one. I'm trying not to have too many pins everywhere. Right, that's a little bit too orangey. We need the slightly darker one. Yeah, okay, so Tombow in red, Old Uhuhu in red, and Geranium in the new ones. First things first, people of the internet. There's my little swatchy swatch page. This, yes. Oh, let's see how that turned out in the meantime, while we were waiting. There's the alcohol marker of barium, and there's the water-based marker of barium. It's not quite as vivid, the ink not quite as bright. Let's try and hold it down there so the light shows it better. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's get a nice clean sheet of paper and compare tips. New one. Firm. Very firm. Doesn't feel like it's going to fray anytime soon. Feels nice and, you know. And then Tombow. Very firm. Firmer, I'd say. Doesn't feel like it's gonna fray anytime soon. So let's compare those. Okay, the white being the Uhuhu and the black being the Tombow. Tombow one looks pointier. Okay, and then the old Uhuhu, which are much more reasonably priced. I think this whole set was £20. Now that is a very soft feeling. My mum loves these for colouring. It has got no precision. It feels like it's got no precision. You can really flex it. These ones, they look really firm. Even firmer. So like full pressure, I get that. Full pressure, slightly bigger drops, which means it's a little bit more flexible. Full pressure on this, it's just like just squishes. So let's compare those. Try not to lose my lids on the floor. Uhuhu, Tombow, Uhuhu. Wait for that to focus. There you go. They look very similar. This one being the old soft one, this one being the Tombow, and this end one being the new Uhuhu. Right, let's put the lids on those and look at the other ends. So, Tombow other end, really fine. Not quite as fine as a fine Triplets fine liner. Very scratchy. The Uhuhu, also very scratchy. Feels identical, to be honest. These colours was a very good colour match. This could be the same ink in these. Dun, dun, dun. And then, oh, I'm going to bit the ends off of these. Please hold the line. Oh. Now these ones are actually fine liners. Proper fine liners. So they're sort of like totally different out the game. Not even the same. Okay, so 90 GSM paper, that was. And this, let me find some watercolour paper in my little stack of testing sheets. Here we are. 190 GSM watercolour paper. And we're going to try and do this as scientifically as possible. So this is going to be Tombow. This is going to be Uhuhu new. And this is going to be Uhuhu old. So, Tombow. squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Pen, blend it out, blend it out, blend it out, blend it out. So that was when it was fresh and wet and juicy. Clean me, watch my face. And put another patch here, which we will revisit when it's dry. Ohuhu Nu. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Blend it out when it's fresh. And put another squiggle here to revisit when it's dry. And then Old Ohuhu. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Can feel that one soaked straight in before it that is a different beast altogether, this one. I don't even know if it's worth doing that really, because it literally, when I put that on the paper, I felt and saw it soak in. I don't know whether it's because it's wetter, whether this has got more glycerin or something in it that makes it sit on the paper just a little bit longer for blendability. I don't know. I'm not a pen scientist. I just like playing with them. Right, do you think we've left it long enough for these to all be dry? So, Tombow, dried. Still blends. Does still leave a mark though, because obviously some of the ink has pulled into the paper. I'm cleaning my brush, so you know, cleaning it, running it through, and we're going to do the Ohuhu Nu. There you go, it has the same properties as a Tombow, look. Blends out when it's old. I'm impressed. Well done, Ohuhu. And finally, absolutely no point in me doing that because that is going to be rock solidly set. Okay. So let's just let's go all bits of the way I've pulled up the paper now. So that's pretty good actually. You can really see the richness of that red there. Pretty good, Ohuhu. And if we want to have a control, this is an Arteza real brush pen. So let's just write that down. Arteza RB. So grab me, have we still got water? Where are we a little bit? I might need to go and fill my water brush up, it's a bit dry. And I want it to be a fair test. Okay, back to full. Where's my Arteza? Arteza real brush pen. Oh dear. It was hard to get anything down, wasn't it? Oh, this isn't a very good control, is it? This is acting as good or bad as the cheap Ohuhu pens. Letting that bit dry though, I don't think it's worth it, letting it dry. Because it didn't work there. Didn't really let it dry, but it wasn't that great anyway. So between the two, the Ohuhu and the Tombow, they're good, aren't they? Oh, I can't believe I'm saying that. I didn't expect to say that. Damn it. Right, let's get a colouring book. Okay, I have got the 3 colouring books that I did the water-based brush pen, I've got the same 3 colouring books as I used in the water-based pen test. So there is a page in here, this one here, where we used, these are on here, Tombows, and are the Ohuhu, yeah, the old Ohuhus are on here. So we need to try these on it. So the test on here is how well they lay down. We need a green as well. Okay, we've grabbed a green and a red. How well they lay down and how much they go through the paper. Now, because we've done all the little bluebells, I'm going to do it over here in this Ohuhu. I'm going to do these 2 little flowers here, and I'm going to do this second leaf. So let's get you in nice and close. and red. And the interesting thing about the Ohuhu pens is they are, sorry, not Ohuhu pens, the Joanna Bashford paper is really thick. To be honest, it takes quite a lot to go through it. I'm going to use this little end bit here as well, just to, one of the things that we did when we did this test is we used the little bit on fire. Let's do that little bit there. Though I'm thinking now that should have been a leaf, but don't worry, it's now a bud. Okay, now we'll use the green there. Now the lady who sent me these did say she wanted me to do a fair review, which is why she sent them to me. She said that she knew that I would be honest, and I am trying to be very honest. It is really difficult to know when people are saying, oh, these are good, just for the sake of it, and when, you know, because they're getting a kickback, because they work for the company, because they got them for free, and when people are actually saying these are good because they're not bad pens. Let's have a look how that came out. So my colouring isn't great, I don't care about going over the lines for the moment. That's them there, that's the green there. Did it go through? So it would have been here if it did, and it didn't. So it would have passed, it would have got through to the next round if I had them when we were doing this test. So let's get my, now you should see the mess that I have around me. I have pens, colouring books. Right, let's do a million sleuths. There's the pen testing page that we used. Okay, we used the green and we did a leaf. We're going to do the same again. We're going to do this leaf here. One question that I do have though is, these are not mega cheap. They're not mega expensive either. Did it go through? No, it did not. So it's there. That would be about there, next to the fish's head. And it did not. These are not mega cheap. I mean, out of these three pens that I've got here, the Tombow, the old Ohuhu, and the new Ohuhu, Tombows are the dearest. They're like £3 a pen. The whole set is like, I don't know, 200 and something, 300 quid. This set of pens was £20, the old Ohuhus, and this set of pens, the new Ohuhus, is, I don't know how much it is actually. The £20 individual box, and I think it's, so it's 60 for the three, but you can kind of get a deal usually. So it's 60 for 72 markers. The Arteza Twee markers, they're about 50 for 100, so they're probably a sort of roughly, you can get a deal at the same price. And the colours in this are a little bit limited, I think. I should save all this for my summing up. Let's do the final test. Okay, final furlong. Let us do a bit so we know it's separate. I'm going to do this bit down here. Oh, you can't even see. That's it. I'm going to do this bit here. I must admit the tips are nice. This is the thin, in case you haven't seen the video where I do the what pens are best on double-sided paper, this is the thin, did not go through. Look, it's down there. If you hold it up to the light, you can see it did not go through. Let's do a quick double layer. these are nice. Oh, you didn't see me doing the double layer, but you can see where it's overlapped to there. Oh, didn't even go through on a double layer. Maybe I just love all pens. They're smooth though, aren't they? I'm just looking at the others compared, and look, they're smooth. Let me just grab me Tombow and just try it again. I can remember what it felt like. Oh, I've got so little space here. The light, the pens. What am I doing? I'm going to do it above that. They feel very similar. They both feel just as nice actually. So that didn't go through either. It's just there above that bit. And if I do a double layer. But would I use my £3 a pen Tombows for colouring? I mean, probably I should do, but I would probably be. My only problem is there's not many of the saturated colours. Right, let's do a final wrap up. Now we have seen that they are quite nice in double-sided colouring books. Right, so Ohuhu versus Tombow. I didn't expect Ohuhu to be able to compete with Tombow because I love my Tombows and I didn't want to be biased towards Tombows. But they do compete really well. With the nib, I felt the nib was, right, first of all, I'm eliminating the older Ohuhus from. I did think that these were just a rebadged version of these, but these are Harrods and these are Aldi, so I'm eliminating them from the competition at this point, and I'm comparing these two, which is what they're trying to compete with. So nib wise, they definitely compete. Blending out wise with water, variable results, but not bad. When we did it on the watercolour paper here, they were both excellent results. I kind of feel like I want to do it with the green now as well, just to so hang on, Tombow. No, let's just do this. Tombow and Ohuhu. Let them dry, let them dry. La 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 la. Let them dry, let them dry. Dee 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 dee. Okay, that's Tombow. Solubulates, still not a word, really nicely. Cleaning my brush. Ohuhu. Look at that. Solubulates, really nice. So it wasn't just due to the red pen, they all solubulate nicely. So my final conclusion. They are comparable to the Tombows. However, the colour range, I think, is where it falls down. I feel like there's too many pastels because there's these two lots of pastels and there's not many saturated colours. So maybe if you have the full set of Tombows, one set of these pastels would make, you know, would bolster up your Tombows. It's like we're missing dark browns and a navy blue and you know, a really deep wine red, but we have an awful lot of pastel colours, both in the pastel colours and the mid-tone sets. But quality wise, they're good pens. It's just colour wise across the three sets, a bit lacking. Alright, well thanks very much for watching. That was fun. I actually really enjoyed doing that. I haven't done a pen comparison for ages, and thanks very much to the lovely lady who sent me the pens, and hopefully this was a comprehensive enough review for you to make a decision about whether you're going to buy the pens, and hopefully it was a comprehensive enough review for anyone else watching, and a fair review. And yeah, take care everyone, thanks for watching, bye. That's really interesting. I was not expecting that. I like them mid-tones actually. The pastels are too light. There you go.